Digitek 250W cob light. Today we are going to make a direct comparison between the 250W cob light and its 150W version. By looking at the box, the one thing I want you to note is that this box mentions that this 250W light gives you a luminescence of 22,500 versus something like 13,500 of the 150W version. So is it really doubly as bright as a 150W version? Stick around to find out. But first, let's get it out of the box. First off, a long wire, 2-pin plug like so. Let's get the light out. The light comes along with a reflector. Instruction booklet. This reflector seems to be of quite good quality. More on this later. It fits onto the light like so with a bounce mount. The light itself is made of good quality hard plastic. It should be fine for you if you're not moving it around too much and you handle it with care. But one thing I would like you to notice these grooves. These are like teeth on which the light can be moved. These teeth are made of plastic and I can see them wearing out quite easily. Look at the cob itself, the LED chip with a heatsink around it. Let's switch on this light. Its minimum brightness is 10% and it can be increased to 100% through 1% increments. Short pressing this button allows you to change channels. Long pressing this button allows you to enter into the effects mode. There are 5 or 6 effects here. And also pressing it once more allows you to scroll through the frequency of the effect. And let's get right into the comparison. This is a side-by-side look at both the lights, the 150W on the left and the 250W on the right. Immediately we can see that the 250W version of the light has a larger LED chip. Side by side the dimensions of the light. The 150W version is considerably shorter. It measures just shy of 9 inches, while the 250W version measures around 12 inches. Let's have a look at the weight of the lights. The 250W version around 1.9 kilos, while the 150W version is considerably lighter at around 1.3 kilos. One thing to note is that the 250W version of this light comes with a reflector but without a remote, while the 150W version has a remote but no reflector. Now let's check out the fan noise of both these lights. I've kept these lights running for around 10 minutes so that they are properly warmed up. I'm going to keep quiet here so that you can have a look for yourself.
Check test.
And now for the brightness test. For this test setup, I've set up 3 lights. On the extreme left is the 250W version of this Digitek cob light. On the extreme right is the 150W version. And in between is the Digitek 416 LED light panel, which I am going to use as a control. As you might have noticed, I've started out this test in bright daylight and I am going to stop up the aperture to make this as dark as possible so that you can notice the effect of the light itself. We are going to first do it without the reflector and later on with the reflector. We are now at f13, ISO 100. Have a look and judge for yourself. These lights are kept 1 meter away from the wall. The D416 is at full brightness. This just gives you an idea of how dark the aperture is. We are now at f29, really small aperture. We are now going to do the test with the reflector. On the 150W light, I've put a Godox reflector, which I had bought separately. Please notice the light spread. Please notice how the Digitek reflector concentrates the light onto the center and maybe even brightens it. These are both the lights side by side. We are currently at f13 and now stopping down to f29. Just to confirm that the Digitek reflector concentrates the light in the center, I have interchanged both the reflectors. Now we have the Godox reflector on the Digitek 250w light and the Digitek reflector on the 150w light. And as you can see, a hot spot at the center. Having both these reflectors could actually help you in some use case scenarios. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe. Signing out.